github.com/devops easy. Right, today will be the day 10 of Git. Today will be the last. From Monday we are going to start Jenkins. Right? Until Git day 6, right? Notes updated. I need to update day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10. Day 7 is not updated. Yeah. After this session, I'm going to update this day 7, day 8, day 9. Now, right away, I will update day 10. If not, I will forget. Okay. Desktop, demo, double class, demo, git, right. Added day 10 notes. Commit. Okay, git day 10. So whatever I will try to discuss. Remaining interview questions part, just you need to go through and you need to answer. Okay. So git common, like git errors, common git errors. So first you will get fatal not a git repository. This error we got or not?
Yeah, the first time we got
Super.
from day 1, day 2.
So this error occurs when you are not inside the git repository directory. Make sure you navigate to correct directory or initialize a new git repository using git init. Yes, this is
Yes.
the error you will get, and for this error, if you want solution is this is. So even though if you join the company, whenever you get any errors, at least I'm trying to provide the troubleshooting steps so that you will not get that fear, right? So right now I'm providing for Git, right? After that I will provide for Jenkins, right? Docker, Kubernetes. So it will be very helpful, right?
Yes.
But no institutes will going to tell this. They will just tell basic Git. They will even they just Git push pull over. They will complete Git in 3 to 4 days. That's it. Then another fatal refusing to merge unrelated histories. So this error may occur when trying to merge two branches with unrelated histories. You can force the merge with the yellow unrelated history. Git merge yellow unrelated histories branch name. If you merge two branches, then you will get this type of errors he is telling, and he is telling the solution as well. Just add yellow unrelated histories. Another error, your local changes to the following file would be overwritten by checkout. This error indicates that you have uncommitted changes in your working directory. You can either commit your changes. Yeah, this error also we got them using git stash or discard them with git checkout file. So if you don't commit anything in your working directory, that time you will get this error. What you need to do, you need to either commit your changes or stash them so that it will be stored some in private. Okay, or you can discard in, right? You can discard. So error failed to push some reference to remote. So this error occurs when you try to push changes to a remote branch that has new commits. You can use git pull to fetch the changes and then push again. So or force push using git push -f you can able to do. Sometimes you cannot able to push because there might be update changes in the remote repository. You need to first pull the changes, then after you need to push. right? Another one was the upstream branch of your current branch does not match the name of your current branch. This happens when the local branch is not tracking the correct remote branch. You can set the upstream branch using, so this is also we got. You need to use git branch -u origin and branch name, or use -u flag with git push git pull. Warning, LF will be replaced by CRLF or vice versa. This warning occurs when line ending or inconsistent between systems. You can configure git to handle line ending with git config input. So if you are running this in Unix, Linux, you need to give this. If you are running in Windows, you need to give this. So authentication failed. You will get this error occurs when Git can't authenticate with remote repository. Check your credential and make sure they are correct. You can update credential using git credential reject and then try again. Error path spec file did not match any files known to Git. This error indicates that specified file is not in the repository, or you have a typo in the file name. Double check the file name and a path. Okay. Another one was the following untracked working tree file would be overwritten by checkout. This happens when you have untracked files in your working directory. What is untracked file? With names
Uh,
conflicting with files in the branch you are trying to switch to. Either commit, stash, or remove the untracked files. Untracked files is equal to newly created files.
yeah, there's a working directory. We have not added it in
Yes.
the.
Yes. Another one was error RPC failed, result 22 HTTP code 404. This error can occur during a push or fetch operation. It might indicate that remote repository doesn't exist or URL is incorrect. Double check the remote repository URL. So it's most common, right? Whenever we want to clone any code, what we will do, we will just copy that code. Sometimes we might give wrong remote repository. So at that time you will get this type of errors. Error RPC failed. So then after I've shown you the most common errors. Now real-time troubleshooting. How in real-time troubleshooting will be done? First, what you need to do, you need to understand the error message. Yes or no? Why that error message is getting? First, you need to understand. We have already understood in the top.
Yes.
So read the error message carefully. Git usually provides information error messages that can point you to root cause of the issue. Yes, every issue he will give some hint, some, right? Untracked working tree, something he is giving hint. So Google the error, right? Copy and paste the error message into your preferred search engine, right? I'll work like this only. That's the reason I've written in this way. You will feel weird, right? I'm telling you to copy the error and Google it. There will be some people who are help you, but this is the way we will going to work in real time. So they will provide some solutions. So I just ran into a very similar error. The solution was in a comment by. So the solution was put in .git on the end of URL. So if you see, whenever he is cloning the project, he is getting this error. He just executed git clone project URL. He got this error. So this error you will also get sometimes. We cannot
Yes.
judge, right? In real time you might get while doing practice. The answers, this answer solved my problem. Git config -f global post buffer does not work. I just added .git at the end of the git URL while cloning. It's work. Okay. Some people what do, they will directly copy this. Okay, they will just give this. Let me try to show you this. Okay, git bash here. Not here. Let me do new folder. Demo. Demo is already there. Let it leave new folder itself. Okay, git bash here. Git clone. So in the place of, sometimes people will just give enter. Yes, remote repository not found. You need to give .git. Fatal repository not found. Sometimes people enter like that, they will get an errors. Okay. So now what he is telling, at least you need to read like this. Like this, you need to work in real time. We are not experts, right? We will
Right,
get
sir.
errors. Newly, like every day, you will not get same errors. Sometimes you will get new errors. So at that time, how you will work? If I don't show that, it is very difficult to manage in the companies, right? I will just show you the most common errors, right? The resolution. But if in future you will get not only that, you will get very new errors. At that time, how you will troubleshoot? This is also important, right? You need to Google it. You need to go through. You need to read what they are telling. Depending upon that, whatever they have provided, right? You might get solution easily. Sometimes this Stack Overflow will not work out. You need to go to some other, like this. You need to go and you need to check. So if you see, he is telling, please consider using software language needs makes. So he is telling Git version might be issue. So if you upgrade the version, then it might be solved. Okay, like this you need to troubleshoot. Okay, first you need to understand the error and what is the root cause. Second, you need to Google the error, right, in the online. Third, you need to check the documentation. Refer the official Git documentation to understand the commands and what are the options you have. So I provided the documentation of official Git. So thereafter you need to use Git commands. By executing Git status, you can check the status, right? By using Git log, you can review the commit history. If you want to see the difference, you can use Git diff. If you want to review the configuration, check your Git configuration setting using git config -n list. Okay. Ensure that user information, remote URL and other configuration are correct. Right, git config -n list. So from where I'm getting this ls-la slash dot git Okay, it's just a new folder, right? Let me execute git init. Okay, dot git. Inside the dot git, there is no config file. Whenever I execute git config, then config file will be added. So git config hyphen from global user dot name user dot email. So you need to provide that configuration correctly. Verify remote connection. So if you are dealing with remote repositories, verify your connectivity to remote server. Check URLs, authentication, and SSH keys is applicable or not. Right, you need to check that one as well. Check your branches. Confirm that you are on the correct branch using git branch. Make sure your local branches are tracking the right remote branches. Right? Inspect commits. So use git show commit or git log to inspect commit details. Understanding recent changes may provide insights into the issue. Inspect file changes. Use git diff to review changes in files. So git diagnostic tools. Git provides diagnostic tools like git reflog to check the integrity. Nothing but git reflog will show the changes. Now I will get empty. So whatever the commits you have done using git reflog, you can able to see. So consider stashing. So consider using git stash or temporarily save your changes. You know about interactive rebase, right? When dealing with commit history, consider using interactive rebase, git rebase -i, and the head to modify or reorder commits. Check disk space, right? Ensure you have sufficient disk space on your machine. Git may encounter issues if the disk is full. Review hooks. Yesterday we have discussed. If you have custom Git hooks, review them for potential issues. Or you can reach out for help. If you are unable to resolve the issue, consider seeking help from online forums, Git community channels, or colleagues. Right? So I have already updated. Right? Just try to go through and read it. It is not very hard. Whatever we have discussed from all day 9 days, same thing was getting here. There is no newly added. So everything I have covered in Git. Okay, now I will tell you about Git real time. You can check after Git interview questions. Let me first see the real time. So explain the concept of Git hooks. What is Git hooks? I told you, right? Git hooks are script that Git executes before or after events such as commit, push, or and receive. So whenever you git commit, if you want to have some events or they right, then at that time it will throw an like error like that. So I have given you git hooks as a task, right? Go through it. They hello developers. I told you right yesterday. This thing we are not going to use. Only developer will going to use. Yes or no? Yesterday I mentioned that this one as well. So this they allow developer to customize and automate workflows. So examples include pre-commit hooks for code lining and pre-receiving hooks for enforcing branch policies. So these things we never work as a DevOps engineer, but it will be helpful for the developers. But if you know about this, it is no use, but it will just at least you will give some confidence. So that's the reason I told you to research about this. What is the purpose of git index? Index is equal to staging area. Okay, don't confuse. The git index, also known as staging area, is a middle ground where changes are prepared before committing to the repository. It allows developers to selectively stage changes before creating a commit. How does git handles binary files? Git treats binary files differently from text files. While Git can manage binary files, it doesn't perform line by line tracking. Instead, it stores the entire file. Each file it changes, which can result in larger repositories. Difference between Git rebase and merge. I told you right. In every interview, they will going to ask. Git merge combines changes from different branches into a new commit. creating a merge commit, right? Whenever you do git merge, it will create a new commit. Same thing here mention. Git rebase, on the other hand, moves or combines a sequence of commits to new base commit. Rebase results in linear commit history. Right? What is the purpose of git attributes file? Right? The git attribute file allows you to define attributes for paths and lines in your repository. It is used to control how git files such as setting merge strategies, handling line handling, and specifying binary or text files. So what are the purpose of .git attribute file? So there will be .git attribute file. What is the purpose? Is it will allows you to define attributes for paths and files in your repository. If you want to define any attributes, you can use this .git attribute file. So how do you delete a remote branch in Git? So if you want to delete the remote, nothing but this branches. For that, you need to execute a simple command, that is git push origin -, delete branch name. Okay, then delete will that will be removed. So in the interview, if they ask how to delete the remote branch, you need to answer this: git push origin -, delete branch name. Explain the difference between fast forward merge and three-way merge or recursive merge. Three-way merge is equal to recursive merge. So with this one already I have discussed or not? A fast forward merge occurs when the branch being merged has no commits, right? If the master branch has no commits, then it will call it as a fast forward merge. If master branch and another branch, both branch has a commit, then it will create a new branch and integrates. That is written here. This one we already discussed briefly in the merge class. Just go through it. What is the purpose of git bisect? How do you use it? Git bisect is used for binary searching through the commit history to find the commit that introduced a bug. So you start by marking a known good commit and known bad commit. Git then helps you identify the commit where the bug was introduced. So whenever developer gets the bugs right, they are going to use this git bisect in order to get where it is having the issue. Again, also we have discussed about git revert. So to revert a commit that has been pushed and shared with others, you can use git revert commit hash. This creates a new commit that undoes the changes made in specific commit without alerting the commit history. Yes, at this one also I have shown you practically. Whenever you do git revert, it will add a new commit. Explain the purpose of git submodules. What git submodules? Git submodules allows you to include other git repositories as subdirectories within your project. This is useful when you want to include external libraries or project in your code base without copying the source code into your repository. Okay. Using git modules, you can include other git repositories as a subdirectories within your project. So if you want to add some other repository in your project, then you can use git submodules. Now let's go to git interview questions. First question, they might ask you what is git. Okay, git is a distributed version control system that tracks changes in source code during software development. It allows multiple developers to work on projects simultaneously. This one you know about it. Whatever you know, you can explain that. Difference between Git and GitHub. Git is a version control system, while GitHub is a web-based platform that uses Git for version control. GitHubs provide a platform for collaboration and hosting Git repositories. Okay, Git is just a version control tool, and it will be available locally for the development. GitHub is a remote repository where you might find multiple repositories, right? If you see, this is my account. If I go to here, right, I will be having multiple repositories. Git is just a source code like tool, version control tool, which we can able to work locally. GitHub is a group of repositories where you can find multiple repositories of different projects. You need to answer whatever you know. Okay, I'm not telling to answer same. You need to answer in your fashion, or you can directly practice this, or you can answer this. So what is a Git workflow? We have discussed from the day one. I've discussed Git workflow. The basic Git workflow involves three main stages: working tree, staging area, and local repo. Changes are made in the working tree, staged using Git add, and then committed using Git commit. What is repository in Git? Right? A Git repository is a storage location where projects version controlled files and histories are kept. It can be local on your machine or remote on a server like GitHub. How does Git handle branching? So Git handle branching by creating separate lines of development. Each branch represents a different version of code. So allowing developer to work on feature or bug fix independently. I told you, right? If developer wants to work on some feature, it it will be best you need to create a separate branch rather than working on the master branch. Same thing he has written here. So what is Git merge? Yesterday we have discussed Git fetch versus Git pull, right?
Yes.
So Git merge combines changes from different branches into a single branch. Okay, it is commonly used to integrate changes from one branch to another branch. Okay, from feature branch, if you want to get changes from main branch, you will do Git merge. That's it. Git pull and Git fetch. So whatever questions they are going to ask, all questions I've collected, I kept into one place. So you just go through all this, practice well, same, or whatever I mentioned, these questions will be repeated in your interview. No questions will be out of this. Only you will get all questions from here on this from this notes itself. You just go blindly read it, by heart this, at an interview. If you fail in Git interview, then come back to me. You will not going to fail if you prepare well whatever I've mentioned here. Because I've collect it has taken me like yesterday, it has taken me too much of time. I have just called my friends at like I have requested him like what are the questions they are getting. My colleagues, same thing they are telling. Git pull fetch important, git pull git fetch important, git pull git fetch important. Some people telling merge rebase. Because some companies are like some people, some friends of mine, they will attend interviews for time pass because they want to check how market was they like, right? For that purpose they used to attend interviews, right? There is one more friend which is Akil, is right now looking for a job change. He is also attending interviews. From him also I have collected some interview questions. Okay, what is a git commit? So git commit is a snapshot of changes made to a repository. It includes a unique identities. So how you will resolve a merge conflict in Git? I told you, right, in the interview they will definitely going to ask this. Merge conflict occurs when Git is unable to automatically merge changes. To resolve conflict, you need to manually edit the conflicting file, mark them and resolve with git add and then git commit. Same thing I have told you in the class as well. What is git rebase? When you would use it? Git rebase is used to combine or modify a sequence of commits to create a linear history. It can be used to keep the commit history clean by incorporating changes from one branch to another. So what is git rebase? In linear format you will get whatever the history you have done. So just go through class where I have discussed rebase versus merge and I have shown you the using visualization. Yes.
Yes.
Explain the concept of git tags. Git tags are referred as specific points in git history, usually used to mark release points. Unlike branches, tags do not change and typically used to for version numbers. I told you, right? If you want to have a version number for your branch, you can add tags. How do you undo the last git commit? Git reset hard head to remove the commit and discard the changes, right? What is the purpose of git ignore file? This is also I'll explain. The git ignore file specifies intentionally untracked file from git should ignore. It is used to exclude file or directory from being tracked by version control system. How can you revert a commit that has already been pushed and shared with others? So I already pushed some changes to the remote GitHub, but I don't want to do that. I want to revert that. To revert a commit that has been pushed, you can use git revert to create a new commit that undo changes made in the previous commit. This approach avoids rewriting history. So using git revert, you need to give the commit ID, then automatically it will be create a new commit ID. Then you can push that again. Then it will be resolved. Again repeated git bisect used. Git bisect is used for binary search through commit histories to find the commit that they introduced debug to else pinpoint in the exact commit where the issue was introduced, right? Using git bisect, if you developers will try to find out a bug. Okay, these are the questions you will face if you attend the interviews, not more than this. Okay, git real time I have discussed, git interview questions I have discussed, git date and I have discussed. Okay, you just go through this. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.